So welcome to the 13th Hoboken Tech Meetup. Before we get started, we're doing a raffle tonight. The money is going to the Liberty Humane Society, specifically to those cats. If you want to participate, see Sandra and the cat. And we do a draw at the end of the night, and I think we have a pretty substantial pie going, or pot going, but if anybody else wants to join, we would certainly appreciate it. All right, anybody want to join? Raise your hand, she'll come to you. All right, we got a winner up there. So, my name is Aaron Price. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the founder of a startup. I run this meetup, and I'm entrepreneur at large for DFJ Gotham. The point of tonight is to meet someone and learn something. So hopefully you've met someone already. I saw that Nina tweeted that she was met someone out of her comfort zone. This is good, which I appreciate that. That's sort of the whole point. Where's Nina? Somewhere. I don't see her. There she is. So meet Nina. She likes meeting people. So this is the 13th meetup, start of our second year. 849 quality members. That's the actual growth curve on the top right. bit.ly/HTM group 1 is the link to the LinkedIn group, which I would highly recommend you join. That's the best way to professionally connect with one another over Meetup, where you can't really get the personal information from one another. We're raising money for good. I mentioned the raffle. We do something like that every month. If you or your organization wants to put something forth that we could put towards the raffle prizes, we would certainly appreciate it. Add it to the list of things that people could win in that raffle. This is giving money out to the Hoboken Boys and Girls Club, which is the charity that we raised money for, the nonprofit really that we raised money for last month. So thank you all very much, those of you who contributed. They were very, very appreciative. We have a new website. Same site, new URL makes it a lot easier, htm.io. So from now on, you can go there, and it'll bring you, we'll have a new site actually launching soon, but this is a much quicker and easier way to stay on top of what we're up to. So any of you who have had success out of this group, I would really appreciate if you would let me know. We're adding testimonials to the new site, and I know that a lot of you have had success. Very few of you have actually taken the time to email them to me. You tell me more anecdotally, so I would really love it, even if it's one sentence, success@htm.io, and we can share your testimonial on the site. That would be fantastic. So tonight is made possible by several sponsors. We have two new sponsors that I'd like to welcome. First is Dave Soren with Soren Royer Cooper. If you could just introduce yourself and the firm.
I'm Dave Soren, co-founder and co-managing partner of Soren Royer Cooper. We are I guess it's fair to say we are still a new law firm. We're about a year and a half old. We are all refugees of very large law firms. We have focused on high-tech and emerging growth companies for our careers. Without meaning to bash large law firms, our view has been for a long time that those firms simply have a model that's unsustainable for people like you, emerging growth companies and entrepreneurs. So in addition to being a CPA and a lawyer, I too am an entrepreneur, and we decided to create a law firm whose model was to serve growing companies. Publicly held companies, privately held companies, from startup to the high end of the middle market. I had the pleasure of meeting Aaron a couple of months ago and was incredibly impressed by what he and this group are doing to help create an ecosystem here in New Jersey and for folks from New York. Something that's been part of my career for a long time. I co-founded the New Jersey Technology Council, co-founder of a venture capital fund and an angel network, but I have yet to see an organization catch on as quickly as what's happening here with Hoboken Tech Meetup. So thank you for letting us be part of it, and for all the work you're doing to really, just looking at this room, it's incredible. It's my first time here, and to see, I won't try to count, but the number of people who are here who are like-minded and looking to network with people to help build their businesses is a wonderful thing to see.
Thank you, appreciate that. Dave has also generously donated a free legal session as part of the prize for tonight's raffle, as well as Albert Wanger, the speaker tonight, has donated a free consulting session. So maybe if you haven't bought into the raffle yet, that might change your mind. A note on the sponsors real quick. Anyone who comes along who wants to sponsor the meetup is not given an opportunity to do so. They're each, I vet each sponsor, make sure that they actually bring real value to the group. Dave and Soren Royer Cooper's approach to how to handle startup businesses is very much in line with, I think, the things that we all need. So I would highly recommend that you spend some time, if you need legal advice or any advice really, talking to Dave. The other sponsor we brought on this month is Phone.com. Is Ari around? There he is. Maybe, and tell them what they want.
We're not the software company. We're a phone that comes a little bit like Google Voice, but on steroids. We're a phone company for small business, kind of 1 to 5, 1 to 10 employees. You get a phone number, and then you build your entire business phone system. Extensions, greetings, music on hold, fax, free conference calls, toll-free numbers, a bunch of stuff. And then you can add physical phones if you want to, but you can start with something totally virtual. We're actually giving every member of the group the opportunity to get 1 year of free service. It's a few hundred minutes a month. We do some limits there. You can call international, but actually a few countries there are included. But it's go check it out from the website. We're also very happy to be part of it. We're in New Jersey, so we felt it's part of what we can do as well. Also spread the word out.
Thanks, Ari. If you didn't catch that, they're putting up a free phone number with no catch for a year. I think you get 300 minutes of usage a month. It comes with all the sort of PBX services that you would expect, so you can sound and act like a very legitimate business. So if you go to htm.io, and on the left-hand side, there's a banner. You have to be a member of the group to reap the benefit of the reward. So thanks, Ari. I don't think Ambrose is here tonight. Anyone from Ambrose here? Ambrose provides small business HR services. Inflection Interactive. Anybody here? No, I don't think so. Fusion Apps, I know, isn't here. Michael Feigen provides outstanding patent law services, and obviously we want to thank Stevens for putting on the venue. So is Brett. Brett's hosting Asbury Agile. Just take a second and tell us about what that's about.
My name's Brett Morgan. Co-founder of AdvanceInnovation.com and Co-works. We're co-workers based in Asbury Park, and we've been in Asbury Park for about 3 years trying to build a local tech community. So starting this October, the 3rd week, we're going to be hosting Asbury Agile. It's a one-day, one-track web conference for startups, for entrepreneurs, anybody interested in technology in the Garden State. It's going to be held at the Watermark, which is a gorgeous venue right on the boardwalk in Asbury Park. It overlooks the ocean. We're looking for about 7 speakers. So if anybody's interested, you can go over to asburyagile.com. And we're accepting speakers, or if you just want to pre-register or want more information on it, just please go check us out.
AsburyAgile.com. All right, so next up are audience asks. So people in the audience who may have something that they want to give the groups help or feedback on. We've got to make these quick because we're slightly behind schedule. But first up, go ahead, John.
My name is John Peterson. I'm working on a shopping startup, and I just wanted to ask you guys to do us a quick favor. We launched a survey today. It's at dollarforyourthoughts.com. I'm going to post it up to the Meetup, but it's just gathering some feedback. It takes about 3 minutes, real quick, and we'll give you $1 for your time, where you can donate it to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Thanks.
All right, dollar for your thoughts. All spelled out? Is there
Yes.
All spelled out. All right. .com. Anybody else have an ask for the group? What do you got in the back?
I'm Martha Garvey. I work at Ogilvy, not a startup, but we are looking for a very junior UI engineer for our 2 websites. Our customer is a government agency. We're especially looking for somebody who's got some WordPress background. You can check me out. I'll post some of this on the Meetup itself. But actually, we really need a junior. Our intern got hired by Google, so it's like that. So.
320?
So we're part of 320NY. It's a small Jersey City development team. We have an idea for a new service called Proto. Basically what we do is we build a working prototype of your web application idea for you. We do this in a set number of weeks for a fixed price, send you all of the code, and host the application for you. We're trying to get some feedback on the idea, price points and stuff like that. So you go to 320ny.com/proto, and you can win a $35 Amazon gift card. So again, it's 320ny.com/PROTO, and I really appreciate any feedback. Thanks.
Hey guys, my name is George. I'm the founder of eagletofling.com. It's a website for people to swap ebooks with one another. We're growing really fast on the need of PHP developer, let's stack it. So please come see me.
That's something we want to over here and then relax.
I'm Manu Rajashi from Tech Designing. We are information technology solution company, data center, we do a lot of software development. We're looking for designers. It would be nice if somebody knows local teams. So we are actively looking.
Hi, I'm David Trevor. I'm the founder of 5K Technology. We do bus and shuttle packing services, we pack food trucks, we do everything from like delivery packing, we deliver Domino's pizza, but we do that for small guys. We do things in bus tracking, and we're looking for someone that's really into sales, really outgoing, and interested in doing sales pitches, things like that. So we can probably in the Meetup list and your meeting up.
His product powers the Hoboken hop bus shuttle times, real time, whereas the Hoboken hop. It's an awesome product. Clearly, he's not a salesman. He needs one. All right. So the last thing. So I'm involved with opening a co-working space in Hoboken. I know we've been talking about this for a little while. A co-working space where you can rent a desk for a day, for a week, for a month, or a dedicated space, a conference room, etc. We've started the build. It should be open in a month. I'll keep you posted, but if you are interested, go to mission50.com. It's called Mission 50 as in entrepreneurs on a mission. You could also see Mike. Where's Mike? Mike Pierce is in. Oh, in the way back, you can find Mike, and he'll tell you more about it as well. All right, so the lineup for tonight, first we're going to hear, there's a very interesting new technology from Connex coming that they wanted to share with the group. I think it's very appealing that we'll go through that quickly. Then 3 startups. We have 5 minutes sharp to pitch, 5 minutes of Q&A. Then we hear from our speakers, some closing remarks. Pay attention because we have a raffle with live trivia at the end. You can win a book from from William Draper, the startup game. And then we'll go to Trinity afterwards. So let's get started with Connex. Jim.
How are we doing tonight? Good? Everybody get the keyboards ready? A couple of things, as you can tell, just by looking at me, I've seen a lot of ones and zeros come through my life. That's for sure. I find that as time goes on, I'm able to accomplish more and greater things, which leads me to the movement towards cloud computing. And cloud computing, as we all know, has 3 basic components. Kinetics has turned the world upside down, basically by building an event-driven network that runs in a platform. So I encourage all of you to go to the Kinetics website, sign up as a developer, doesn't cost you a dime, works with any IDE. There's a series of libraries that you can download and use, rule sets. And basically what you'll do is you'll build an application that'll sit in the platform and listen for events. And when an event gets triggered off and happens, those rule sets will fire. And that's when the Kinetics clock starts ticking. So it's a dynamic event-based network. It's a platform as a service. So anyone that's looking to build software as a service, you now have all the underlying software infrastructure you can possibly need in order to do so. Now, there it is. So I'm going to quickly go through with 5 minutes some business cases. The first one is AAA. AAA recognized that they can maintain a 90% retention rate of customers who take advantage of discounts that they offer. So AAA is a lot more than just a plain old towing service, right? However, getting that information in context to the user was a difficult thing. So they brought on a developer called Asigo out in the Northwest. Asigo built an event-based network application. It's a browser plugin. What's cool about a browser plugin is when you make a code change, that code change occurs right across all your users. So it's very easy to do all kinds of software maintenance, added enhancements, features of that nature. So what did they do? Now, here's a plain old picture of a search for women's clothing that anyone who doesn't have this plugin or isn't a AAA member in the Northwest would see. Via some link binding technology that is what Kinetics is really all about. That's what the platform performs. Now, when you do a search with that plug-in installed in any browser, and it works across all browsers, and there's plenty of libraries that go right down to the device level. Now, when there's a discount offered by a AAA participant, that AAA user who went to the AAA website, downloaded the plugin, installed it in their browser, sees the discounts that are offered for any company across any search that can be done, because it's a browser-based application. No, that's any browser-based application. So any search engine, whether it's Google or Bing or is Alta Vista still around? I dated myself. Quickly go over discovershop.com. Kinetics has really, we now have 3 basic anchor customers, as we like to call them. And that's Axiom, Dun & Bradstreet, which you'll see in a minute, and Discover. When you go to the website, there's a whole bunch of free social link binding apps that you'll see. And you're more than welcome to try them. Social Plus is pretty cool. HoverMe is pretty cool. They're just developers that are posting apps, and you're welcome to do the same. So here's a great way to start to build a foundation of customers and a following to your app with a little teaser that you can grow into with more value. So Shop Discover is basically, yet again, another loyalty app. Uses link binding based on events, listens in the network. When you go to Discover and you load the plugin, just as we mentioned before, this looks a little different. Now we look for women's clothes again. This is without the browser plugin loaded. This, of course, is. So what basically Discover is saying? Wait a minute. What the Shop Discover really is all about is branding. There's brand identity here now, and I, as a user, now in context, I can understand that I can use my Discover cashback money at this particular website. Of course, Discover being as big as they are, you see an awful lot of the little icons. And there's lots of case studies on the Kinetics website. Again, I invite everybody, and it's in all of our best interest to kind of look at those case studies and drill into them. Oops, guess I went too far. Well, Dun & Bradstreet had an interesting link binding dilemma that they needed to address, and that was legacy host systems without having to interrupt, disrupt any of that code, but yet do lots of social binding. Social binding so that when their salespeople who spend most of their time on Salesforce.com could see a lot more about their customers than they would typically see. And so here are all the social environments that those companies are connected to. Now they're actually logging into, using OAuth, into their internal systems right through Salesforce.com. Salesforce.com didn't know about the internal app. The social binding websites didn't have to know anything about the fact that data was being pulled through APIs to Salesforce.com. So it's a very interesting kind of environment. A couple of things that I just want to mention, folks that I work with, Dr. Winley, Doc Shields, vendor relationship management out of the Berkeley Center, and I invite everybody to visit the Berkman Center and start to learn and understand as much as you can about what Doc is trying to accomplish with vendor relationship management, which is the next evolution of customer relationship management. I want to thank Aaron for giving me the 5 minutes. I want to thank you for your attention. I'm available. You see how you can get me. Being Italian, the only way to shut me up, Aaron, is to tie my hands behind my back. Thanks, folks.
Didn't bring my book. Oh, Alex, Beats Brass. Yeah, what's up?
What's the wireless access username password again?
I'll tell you.
Hi guys, my name is Alex. I'm from the company called Beansprout. Beansprout helps companies with business development. I'm matching them together sort of like a dating website, but for businesses. So right now, business development is wonderful. Partnerships are a key aspect to growing any company, but the way we're doing it is extremely inefficient. We're cold calling people, we're cold emailing people, and the real underlying problem is that there is no information about what a company is really open for in terms of partnership. So a little about the opportunity size of what we're going after. Right now there's over 10.5 million companies in the US alone that are using social networks. We're spending over $300 for outbound leads, and we're spending about $100 per month on tools to help us find these types of leads. So the overall opportunity size is quite large. But where does this all come from? Right? So business development is very valuable. We can only agree that partnerships are a key to growing our company. But the way we're going about it pretty much sucks. So let me give you a pretty real world example and relate it to something completely different. So is anyone single in the room? Dating, single, somewhat? Got a couple hands. All right, so imagine if you were trying to meet a girl, right, and you were to go online, and you were to go buy her contact information, then proceed to cold call her, then cold email her, trying to get a date. And that's essentially what's going on in the business development world. And we're spinning our wheels, wasting a lot of time and energy, finding the right people to make partnerships happen. And we think that there's a lot of room for improvement in that scenario. So we built Beansprout. Beansprout brings companies together by matching them together. We use algorithms, we collect a lot of data, and we bring these companies by presenting matches directly to you. So we're helping present matches and companies passively as well as directly by receiving weekly matches through email, and you can interact with them directly on our website. And this is live. You guys can sign up to if you're looking for business development partnerships. So the main benefits of this, like I said before, is we're actually delivering you opportunities. We're saying these are companies that are looking for exactly what you want in terms of a partnership. And we're matching you based on your needs, specific company needs, rather than just blasting out and cold calling, cold emailing people. And this is information that is not readily available anywhere else. And it's a user base that has the decision-making ability to make a partnership really happen. So how are people trying to solve this problem today? Right? There's other things that people are trying to use, including LinkedIn, lead generation sites like Jigsaw, conferences. We go to conferences, networking events. We spend a lot of money on these types of events to try and find contacts to make the right partnership. But we think that the key to solving this problem is going to come down to three things. Information about what a company is really looking for, motivated users who are looking specifically for partnership and business development, and a focus on this type of activity from all the users on there. So we see our sustainable advantages coming from the technology behind the matching of companies, detailed partnership information that's not readily available anywhere else, and the engaged user base that connects over 10% every single week in making these types of partnerships happen. What does our business model look like? We are a subscription-based model, and we're tiered based on usage. So every time you connect on our platform, you use what's called a credit. And it's tiered based on how much you use our system every single month. Some of our methods to scale so far has been invitations to referrals, partnerships with industry groups, including people like the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, XCart, automation of the actual process of matching these companies together, and an affiliate program to help bring more people into the Beansprout ecosystem. Some of our milestones of where we've been and where we're going. We've been live now, testing with real users. We actually originally started as an email list, which is a very funny story. If you guys catch me later, I'll explain how we even started this to begin with. And now we're moving more towards accelerating what we've built on a smaller scale and making that happen. So we've had real partnerships happen as a result of Beansprout. We have paying customers. And now we're looking for a few other things, including advisors, to help us branch off into other industries than the ones we're focusing on right now. Some of our key customers and partners, you can see over here. The average Beansprout user is typically a mid-sized company, 20 to 200 employees, people who realize the value of business development partnerships. And it's funny, but a lot of people on Beansprout are actually people like a VP of business development who do this all day. So it just goes to show that everyone needs help in finding and the power of partnerships for businesses. And this is the team that's doing it. I'm Alex. Artie is my co-founder, who's over there. We have 2 other backend developers with experience in algorithmic development. And I would love to show you more of the platform if you guys want to grab me afterwards, but I encourage anyone who's looking for business development or partnerships, please sign up. It's free to sign up, and you can start finding companies right away. Thank you. So I'll take any questions. Sure.
How do you guys find companies on start from scratch, or do you actually pull information from
We started from scratch. So there's very much a chicken and the egg problem when it comes to a business model like we've been building. So the way we actually started this, like I said before, was actually an email list. We started a very small group of 4 people in very specific industries that we know are very ripe for partnership, and we started growing it out from there. So what we did was introduce some information like what we call placeholder profiles, basically a company that doesn't have an owner profile. And we used that basically as lead gen for a while of saying, hey, there's a company who's interested in partnering with you. Come join our network, come join the ecosystem on Beansprout, and join. And now we do 90% of our matches are all inside the network.
You mentioned LinkedIn. You basically compared yourself to LinkedIn. Are there any other competitors in the field?
There's many indirect competitors, I would consider them. So whether it's a business listings website, information-oriented type sites like that, to a contacts generation type of place like Jigsaw or Rain King or things like that. But what we've seen is that they're missing a layer of data that is really important for someone to find a company that they should be working with. And we believe that's the company level data of what a company is interested in, who they've already partnered with, as indicators of who they should be partnering with in the future. So we're kind of building this company level graph that doesn't exist in other sources as far as we know today.
How much business have you done with the partners?
How much business have we done?
Yeah, how much business have you done with platforms?
We've had real partnerships happen, reseller, VAR, technology integration partnerships. Every week, about 10% of our user base will send what's called a partnership request, which is based on them getting their weekly matches or going to the website and seeing all their matches and sending a request saying, hey, I'm interested in partnering with you. And then they can usually connect with that. So that's basically
how much dollars were exchanged.
right now, it's really, we understand that business development is a very large problem. Step 1 for us is really about solving, can you get the right people in the right room at the right time who should be partnering together? And so that's more about the connection that happens. Now we're moving more towards the further side of the problem, which is how do you get them to form that deal, close the deal, help them with the terms of the deal, and get it started and implemented. So we're actually launching something tonight, which is called Featured Partnerships, which is actually a highlighted, almost templated type of partnership from select groups of companies that you can engage in one click.
Do you have any star partnerships? Like one you could say was a perfect example?
One of the best examples I have happened on the Beansprout network was there was an e-commerce shopping cart software provider and another e-commerce hosting and e-commerce solutions provider, and they actually integrated a piece of their technology into their shopping cart platform. And it's a process that takes 3 to 4 months, but it's a huge win for both sides because they're gaining both the exposure to the customer base and people who are using those tools on the other side, as well as like another place for them to sell their product, another channel to sell their product. So that's like the best example of it's a pure technology integration partnership that has benefits for both sides. And that's really what we believe in when it comes to business development, is making sure that both sides are basically 1 + 1 will equal 3. Any other?
I think there's about 60-something million businesses in the U.S. How many do you cover?
We're focused on basically 3 different industry verticals right now. So like I said before, there is a chicken and egg problem, so we can't fragment ourselves too much. So I can't match you with a concrete mixing plant in California if you are an IT solutions provider. There's some things that will not cross-pollinate that well. So we're focused on the technology-specific verticals. So we cover things like IT solutions, web development, web hosting, e-commerce platforms, and we're more focused towards vendors rather than someone like a retail.
But how many businesses do you cover? I mean, do you have a number or?
There's over 450 member companies on vSprout right now, and we're accelerating from there.
How many of the 450 are actually?
I said before, every week, 10% of that user base will actually send a partnership request. So if you do the math, I think it comes out to pretty decent activity rate. We are bootstrapped. Yes. So we're currently raising our seed round right now. So if anyone has any connections or angel investors who are interested in the B2B space, B2B tech specifically, I'd love to talk. All right, thank you very much. Brett?
Hello everyone, I'm Brett Martin, thanks for having me. I've been this pumped since my first show with my band. We called that Kittens Ablaze. Didn't go very well. Hope this goes better. But thanks for having me. And I guess before I start, I'd love it if everyone would take a look around the room. Look at the person next to you. Thank you. Somewhere in this room might be your future business partner, or maybe your next big investment, or maybe even your future wife. That's why I'm here to help you meet that person actually. So I don't know about you guys, but maybe you've come to an amazing meetup such as Hoboken Tech Meetup, full of brilliant and beautiful people, only to wonder who you should talk to next. Or maybe you've gone out to a bar one night to meet people and found yourself kind of sitting in the corner checking tweets and messages sent by people miles away. Or maybe you've just wondered, how can I tell everyone in this room that tonight I actually don't have work tomorrow, so I'm trying to party? Or perhaps just that you're looking for PHP developers. So is everyone, and that's why we built Sonar. The concept is absolutely simple. Sonar uncovers the hidden connections between you and everyone else in this room. So we don't have a mobile demo thing going on today, so I'm just going to use my website, sonar.me. So the way Sonar works is you pop up in the app and you tell it where you are. And with one click, we tell you how you're connected to everyone inside. So pretend this is last Saturday, and I was going to the MoMA, and I popped open Sonar, and it gave me this. With one click, Sonar scours the web for people at the MoMA, right at that moment, and then appends publicly available profile information to those people, and then sorts the room by who's most relevant to me. So every person that uses Sonar sees a completely different room because everyone's connected in different ways. So I can see Melanie H is one of the most relevant people to me at the MoMA, and we share 3 Facebook friends. So let's check that out. So boom, with one click, Sonar gives you an overview of that person who's also at the MoMA with you and of how you're connected. So I can see that Melanie is a designer with the answers and artists with questions, which is convenient because we are hiring designers. But the real magic is below that. So with one click, this person, Melanie, who was a complete stranger but 5 seconds ago, I now see as friends with my good friends Amy, Rue, Paul, and Brian. So that basically gives me the tools I need to feel comfortable enough to approach Melanie. So I know you're saying that's cool and it's great to know that, but how do I connect with Melanie? The MoMA is a pretty good place. So we've got you covered there too. Because one of the best parts about Sonar is that with one click, basically we give you the sort of social proof needed to start a conversation with a complete stranger. So in this case, I was saying, hey Melanie, how do you know Brian? We happen to be looking for a freelance designer. Let's grab a coffee. So it's just that click. I mean, to summarize, with one click, Sonar gave you a rank ordered list of everyone in the MoMA, sort of by who's most relevant to you. With your second click, Sonar gave you an overview of that person, what they do, and how you're connected to them. And then with your third click, Sonar created a targeted message with enough social proof to get the conversation going. So we think that's pretty exciting. But I guess one of the best parts about Sonar is that Sonar works even if no one else is using the app. So we overcome the ghost town problem that has scuttled a lot of other ventures in this space by intelligently aggregating and synthesizing publicly available information all over the internet in the palm of your hand. Right now we use Foursquare, Facebook, and Twitter, but you can only imagine how it's going to get more and more powerful as we continue to add services. So Sonar is more than just sort of a powerful, hyperlocal social CRM tool that's going to save you all time and money at events like this. Our goal is not just to make sort of networking more efficient. It's bigger than that. What our vision is, sort of like all great social web services that came before us, is to provide a platform for self-expression. In this case, hyperlocal self-expression. So in the same way that Twitter gave you a soapbox to tell the world your thoughts, and LinkedIn gave you a place to showcase your professional accomplishments, and Facebook a way to show your friends all the cool things you're doing, Sonar is a way to tell the other people in the room who you are and what you're proud about. So while other networks are about telling people that are elsewhere that you're here, Sonar is laser focused on telling the people in this room that you're here and this is what you're about. So I guess I align with this. We spend so much time, telling and expressing who we are on the internet. Why not use that information to help us connect to the person sitting next to us? That's Sonar. Thanks a lot. So we pull that from API, publicly available APIs, places like Foursquare, basically anywhere where people are already publishing their location on the internet.
So people have to check in, you won't be able to find out where people are otherwise, right?
Unless you are announcing your location on the internet, then we're not going to pull you in.
Have you guys been testing, basically testing this thing in real situations and trying to mitigate, I guess, between the level of this is useful and this is creepy? I guess, like kind of feel like, because at some point, like, knowing too much about people gets reviewed, and then it's at another point, it can be very useful. So, how do you been testing that?
Yeah, so I think the first point is that we're only using people that are projecting themselves anyway to begin with. So I think that's a good sample group of people who are broadcasting. But secondly, so a lot of people have tried to build this app before. In fact, there's actually a startup graveyard of companies that have tried to create hyper-local messaging app, a way of sending a message to someone across the room. And it's location-based, so privacy is very important, right? But one place we take a very contrarian stance to those that have come before us is that we actually think that more information makes things less creepy. So for example, if you got a message from anonymous weirdo 32 being like, hey, I see you in the front row, that'd be really weird, right? But if you got a message from Brett, a friend of Aaron's, that says, hey, I'm looking for, what do you do? I'm looking for some marketing help for my startup that just launched 3 weeks ago, and you see that we have mutual friends, and I'm a real person with 1,000 Facebook friends and Twitter friends. Like that's a lot less creepy. So we're going against the conventional wisdom there. We'll see how it goes. How am I going to monetize this? Well, so if I look at the social web, there's probably one thing that we've seen is that people really love attention. And so I don't think that really changes too much in the local space. So you've gone to a party, and if you're the cool guy, VC, like Albert, and you've got people coming up to you and talking to you and chatting you up, or you're the host of the party, and it feels pretty good, right? But if you're the guy from Austin, Texas that just moved to New York City and is trying to break into the New York tech scene, like you have to start every single conversation. And that can just be exhausting, right? There's a lot of cool people. You know, I'm pretty extroverted, so I got through that phase. But there's a lot of people, cool people, interesting people for whom that's a non-starter. And so, you know, where we're thinking what Sonar might eventually go is that we'd like to enable you to increase your local visibility to the right people. So if there are certain people that in this room that you really wanted to get in front of, Sonar would help you do that. So that's sort of the direction we're going to go. Well, would you pay to get in touch with certain people at certain places? Yeah? Okay. I think some people will.
Have you considered using a persistent location, like within Sonar? Like, I'm not on Foursquare, and I don't really want to be, but I really want to get on Sonar, and I'm willing to let Sonar know like where I am all the time if it means that like, I get these valuable connections.
It's absolutely something we're looking into. So I'd love to talk to you after the break.
So that you can broadcast to some of the people in the local area. What is that method of broadcasting? Where is that persistent distorting?
So by checking in on Sonar, you're making yourself available to the other people in the room. But we're building a couple cool mechanisms that we think are going to be really sweet that help you broadcast your location even to people outside of Sonar. So that's coming. We've got some good stuff in the pipeline there. I mean, for now, it's just if you check in, everyone else can see you checked in, and by virtue of being on Sonar, that's a pretty good indicator that you're here. By checking on Sonar, it's a pretty good indicator that you're here to connect. Sorry, I'll give you a second.
Would Sonar alert you like a little like text message alert like, hey, you know, 5 people in this room, or would you always have to like check and see like, do I know anybody in this room?
You should download. Do you ever use Foursquare?
No.
We have some pretty good. Well, so for example, a lot of our early users. I mean, we just launched 2 weeks ago, so this is really just getting off the ground. But we are going to intelligently use push notifications and leverage existing platforms that people use that information. So basically, here's an example. You know the app Food Spotting? Or let's just say Foursquare. So people check, a Sonar person signs up for Sonar, they use Sonar, then they're like, that's cool, that's awesome, but you know, I'm an avid Foursquare user, I really love my points. So what we do is when someone checks in on Foursquare, and then we catch that check-in, and then we do the analysis in the background, and then if there's someone relevant to you there that we think you should connect with, we shoot you a push notification and say, hey, you know, Aaron, a friend of Jim's, is also checked in at Hook Open Tech Meetup. You guys should connect. And so we're going to continue to do that with other services and other platforms. So. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Before we do the next one, Liam, you want to come up? If you haven't, how many people here have not checked in on the sign-in sheet tonight? Anyone? A few? Mark in the back? Someone here? So please raise your hand so Sandra can get to you. The policy, if this is your first time here, if you are a no-show, and I really appreciate everyone, I know everyone here obviously is here, but a lot of you are here because other people kept their RCP up to date. And after you do it one time, you go out on the public no-show list of shame list that goes out sometime this week. And if you do it twice, you're axed from the group. So please try to stay on top of your RCPs. I appreciate that everyone's made such a great effort so far. The list of no-shows is relatively small. Next up, we have Liam from Squid Job.
Not kidding about the RCP stuff. We're working backwards here.
Good. Again, this will work.
I did this on Prezi, by the way. Everyone should check it out. Stop using PowerPoint. Simple, really quick. Anyway, first off, thanks for coming today. Aaron, thanks for giving us the opportunity to present. My name is Liam Pfeiffer, squidjob.com. Started back in January 2010. Hoboken-based business. Oh yeah, sorry. Perfect. Started in January 2010. Laid down some code. It's a pretty serious system, and it took us longer than expected, but we launched a couple months ago. If you were to boil it down, it's just local services made easy. I'd like to start and just kind of tell you how the idea came about. And here's the idea. I was in school. A buddy of mine crashed my car, and he's like, whatever. He's the type of guy that everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And he's like, listen, I don't care. Take care of it. Send me the bill, right? So I towed the car to a shop where this mechanic saw me, and this is what my co-founders think I look like. But he completely sized me up. He said, Wake Forest, right? Knows nothing about cars and has money. He was right about one thing. I don't know anything about cars. He gave me a list that said, here's your bill, right? $6,000. Here's exactly what's wrong, what needs to be fixed, and here's the hourly rate that goes into it, right? So I knew I was getting gouged just because he sized me up. It's like, now that I know all this information, why can't I go online and upload that content and have all the local body shops in the area bid on that job? Let them kind of bid their labor. They have high fixed costs, and see what kind of price I can get. Fortunately, there wasn't a website that gave us this opportunity. So I got a little frustrated. I wanted to shop around, but to fix a car, to shop it around, you got to tow it from location to location. I settled, I took the price, I billed my friend. I still feel bad about it, but hopefully Squid Job makes it, and I'll be able to take care of it later. Anyways, so let me take you into the interface real quick. This is kind of the posting of a job. Right? It's not the homepage. This is how you would post a job. You go ahead and you title it, category, this one's household, doors. This person in particular, this is a live job. They wanted their double mahogany door painted. You see what happens. As soon as they click on this, sorry, I'm walking away, but you can't read. As soon as they click on this field, Squid Tips catered to this specific subcategory of services will pop up. It's an open form. It allows them to kind of have a free-for-all, write whatever they want, right? And the reason why we're doing that is it kind of separates the contenders from the pretenders, right? If we walk people through a drop-down list and held their hand, you get a lot of similar job postings, not allowing the businesses to kind of really see who means and also wants that work done. You know, this is a legitimate job. I'm not going to waste my time here with a non-quality lead. Okay, so from there you post that job, right? Then it goes from the business side. He sees this. One of these markers on this website right here, sorry, this image right here, one of these markers represents that job. Right? You can either click on it or you can click on the listing, and it will bring up the job order detail. This in particular, you can look at the images, read the job description, post a question if he needs to extract more information. There's been a little bit of interaction between the buyers and or the businesses and the consumers, and but for the most part, we've had a pretty good turnaround time. People have been willing to place an estimate because we're really planting the seed that, hey, listen, this is an estimate. If you get to the job and what they describe as isn't actually what it is, and you need to do more work, you can adjust the price. Nothing's binding. It's just a ballpark figure. So you can go ahead and click place an estimate and then submit it. To go back to the consumer side, it's a self-contained platform, right? So it's a closed bidding environment, not reverse price. You can pick anything you want, you know, and hold on one second, I'm not sure exactly what consumers in on this one. Yeah, perfect. So these are the number of bids for this particular job, right? Not 800, 250, 3,000, I don't know what that guy's thinking, but 900, 900, and 250 again, right? It turns out one of those 250s actually is 250 per door, so the prices aren't exactly what they are. But along with posting the estimate, the business can place a comment with that estimate. This guy, he's staining the door, but a number of decisions, especially one job that I had my rug cleaned, and we got a number of bids, and people were like, I steam clean it, I will do a different thing. I picked the guy that in the comment, not only with his price, he said he hand cleans it, and he gets down there, and he went off about how much he loves rugs. Got a little weird, but I picked him. Because I knew he was going to do a good job, he did. And, you know, it's just like kind of ballparking for the people. They select the estimate, and well, before they select the estimate, they can also, in addition to this, you can look at the provider's profile that you find on the site, and it's got pictures of work they've done in the past, ratings from different consumers that have used the site. So a lot of sites like Yelp and Angie's List, anyone can go onto the site and leave a review. On our site, you only can leave a review if you actually posted the job. You know, so there's a degree of quality control, and there's a selling point to the business. You're not going to see reviews that you, I didn't even do that work. Who is that? Is that my competition? What's going on? You know, and we do have an element of quality control, hopefully, but we'll see when it opens up a little bit. Here's some of our target markets, just real quick, and then we'll dive into Q&A. Tech enthusiasts, I'd love for you guys to try the website. We've been launched for 4 to 5 months now, but it's been heavily dominated by provider recruitment, going out there and picking the businesses that we want. But now the product's working, we're getting a good turnaround time, we're getting a number of bids. Post in the morning, I think you'll have somewhere between 4 to 5 bids come afternoon when you're home from work, maybe a couple of days depending on how long tail the service is. But tech enthusiasts, millennial moms, you know, time strapped, and they're the ones consuming services in the household, and then young professionals. From a business standpoint, we're targeting accredited, this is a better business bureau, but like we're targeting reputable, high quality businesses that have been around for 50 to 100 years, and not necessarily the one-man operations. We're really looking for high quality people, get them in the system, allow them to start the race before everyone else, get a review, distinguish themselves, and then maybe as demand increases, we'll add the low-hanging fruit, and not to offend anyone, but we definitely want to give kind of the franchise and co-transmissions, the larger operations, a head start and get them in to distinguish themselves from the people that do a hack job or just get the job done. One thing that I want to tell you guys is we're finding that even though we're having a better conversion rate from cold calling, we get these people on and they're dinosaurs. It's not technology that has been holding this idea back. It's one side of the market is finally coming around, and that's your service provider, your roughneck, your painter, your landscaper, and they're just realizing the power of the internet. They're realizing a lot of stuff is coming from Google, and they're like, man, I better get on this before my business is irrelevant or I can't compete with other people. So I got some funny stories. I don't know how much I'm over time. Okay, questions? ServiceMagic, yeah, absolutely. ServiceMagic is a competitor that's pre-established. They've done particularly well at over 150 million in revenue. It's got a pot of gold in it, so that's why we're going after it in particular. But ServiceMagic, we're at the yellow boat. You tell them what you want done, they turn around and you've got these businesses calling you, and they sell a lead. We keep it self-contained on the website, create a competitive bidding environment, right? And also complete anonymity. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're a woman, a young student. They can't gouge you because of this kind of, if they come in real high and they drop something like $3,000 because they think you're in a fluent area, guess what? They're going to look silly compared to their competitors in the other bids. It's all contained. It's not sale. Next. Our businesses, first we would take in our network, people in this area, refer people. You know, like who do you use for what? We actually had a woman through a get-together where she invited all her friends over, and to come to the get-together, they had to bring a list of businesses that they use. And then we pitched the site to them, and then we had a number of job postings from that. We go there, we also go to businesses and ask them to refer people that they use, subcontractors and whatnot. We also use like Yelp review sites. I'm not going to say Angie's List, even though we kind of cross-reference a little bit, but it's a little different story. But yeah, that's how we refer them out. We vet them out. We're not on Craigslist. Just picking anybody that we can.
You guys keep the bidding history from companies like that guy who goes to 3 times garage. I want to see if he's actually.
You know, some of these we will. That is, there's some actually really high-end, high-quality like people that it's just like that's their price. I'm not. It's like in their servicing. So yeah, I'll get back to them. But yeah.
Have you thought about gigs? Can you explain a little bit more about how, as you said, it's typically a demographic where we're talking about service, kind of tackling that? Because I just know a lot of contractors are probably
Absolutely. Well, one thing that we're fortunate about is a lot of these guys are up on Blackberries and Droids and whatnot, so they're coming around from there. As far as using the interface and whatnot, it's been a little difficult. We implemented a live help system so they can reach out and say, hey, are you lost? You know, we can see them move through our analytics, and we can help them guide them through it. It's a little bit of a hand-holding, but you know, we're kind of forwardly trying to get them adapted to technology so that we're out in front of everybody else. Oh, right now, everything is free. You know, post a job for free. Businesses are free. We want to establish us in industry and in geographic market, show that we are driving business for those people, and then we'll try to help you out. We right now, yeah. Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we have, but we're not going to disclose it. If you come to Trinity afterwards, I'll get into detail on that. So it's a highly competitive space. We're done. One more. No more.